Casimiro's trophy cabinet is one of the craziest in the world, with 5 Champions League wins, 3 La Liga titles and 3 World Cup titles during his time in Madrid. But how did he escape the favelas in Brazil to make it to the top of the soccer world? And now that he's one of the richest footballers alive, how does he live his life? You'll want to stick around to the end to find out how his career almost never happened. Casemiro, like many other Brazilian children, grew up in abject poverty. He was the eldest of 3 children, a younger brother named Lucas and a sister Bianca. Casemiro's father left his family when he was just 5, so from a very young age it was just Casemiro and his mother Magda. He knew that football was the only way he could escape from the life he was born into. He teared up in a recent interview with Madrid's press team, recalling how flavoured milk that cost only 20 cents at the time was too expensive for him to drink growing up. Before big games, when he was still playing at Sao Paulo, he would ask his teammates to let him sleep over at their house so he could get proper sleep in a comfortable bed. He grew up juggling school and football together, and while that's not very uncommon among young footballers around the world, Casemiro's story would be a little different. He was providing financial and emotional support to his mother, who was also raising his siblings at home, and also covering the educational expenses for his younger siblings. Even after he became a professional footballer, Casemiro was bearing all the financial responsibilities for his family. It says a lot about the mentality monster that he would grow up to become. "My family had no fixed home to live in. We stayed at my aunt's house," Casemiro recalls. "We only had one room and a bathroom. I never had toys like other children. My mother always told me, 'I'll buy it for you next time,' but the next time never came." In this troubling childhood, football became his only solace, and Casemiro grew up idolizing Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rio Ferdinand, Paul Scholes, Gilberto Silva, and Claude Makelele, hoping that he too would be representing Brazil one day and playing on television like the players he admired so much. Casemiro's career started as a youth player in Sao Paulo's academy, where he captained all of the teams he was part of, starting with the under-11s team. He would then go on to make the team for the under-17 FIFA World Cup in 2009, and his performances that year would get him to the Sao Paulo first team at the age of 18. He played there for 3 seasons before Denilson arrived from Arsenal, where Casemiro was relegated to the bench. Despite a long-term injury to Wellington, Denilson's partner in midfield, Casemiro was often overlooked for a starting spot. In January of 2013, Real Madrid approached Sao Paulo and took Casemiro on a loan deal, which they made permanent just 8 days after Casemiro arrived, for a mere $6.5 million. He would spend the rest of the season as a player in Real Madrid's B team, making a single appearance in Mourinho's last season. Just 6 months later, he would join FC Porto on a loan deal. He made 28 appearances for Porto, where he scored 3 goals, before rejoining the Madrid squad in 2015 because Zidane wanted him back at the club. When he first arrived at the club in 2012, nobody could have imagined that Casemiro would go on to replace the illustrious Xabi Alonso and his backup Sami Khedira in the Madrid lineup, but he did. The tank earned a fierce reputation for his hard tackling and endless stamina. His aggression and presence also allowed his more illustrious teammates, Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, to play with more freedom. It was commonly assumed that Madrid's featured midfield trio would have Kroos and Modric lining up with either Isco or James Rodriguez. Marco Asensio was also a talent that many had expected to lead Real from 2015 onwards. Such was his influence on proceedings when he made his appearances from the bench that he forced Zidane to pick him over the likes of the more talented dribblers already in the squad in 2015, forcing the playmakers to settle for a place on the bench. Over the next few seasons, Casemiro became the midfield destroyer that we all know today. He was crucial in helping Real Madrid secure 3 La Liga titles, 4 additional Champions League wins, and 3 Club World Cup trophies. While his club career achievements are known to many, Casemiro also became a regular part of the Brazilian national team. He first started with his under-17 FIFA World Cup appearance, and then went on to win the FIFA Under-20 World Cup with Brazil, before winning the Copa America in 2019. Individually, he was part of the UEFA Champions League squad of the season in 2016-17, 2017-18, and the UEFA La Liga Team of the Season from 2019-20. He also made it to the Copa America Team of the Tournament for 2021. Casemiro has reportedly earned a wage increase after his move from Real Madrid to Manchester United in the summer of 2022. He's among the top earners at United and is said to be in the same ballpark as United keeper David De Gea, earning more than $375,000 a week. That means he's making close to $20 million a year from his weekly wage alone. Some sources do suggest that it stands at $375,000 a week, but it's a lot in either case. Casemiro's net worth stands at approximately $63 million right now, and his value on transfer market, despite being 31 in February, is an impressive $55 million. Casemiro's most notable sponsors are the sportswear brand Nike and the gaming hardware company HyperX. Additionally, Casemiro also has his own professional esports team, Case Esports, that he founded. The company gets regularly featured on the athlete's social media platforms. He's a lead ambassador for the Norwegian water company Nordic Life. He has also been a brand ambassador for Pepsi in Brazil. Furthermore, he has an endorsement deal with Hublot, a Swiss luxury watch manufacturer featured regularly in their ad campaigns. Casemiro is also one of the most prominent athletes advertising for the self-care company Nivea. Interestingly enough, Casemiro has a sponsorship deal with Banco do Brasil, one of the largest banks in Brazil and one of the oldest in the world. He's also a brand ambassador for Vivo, the largest Brazilian telecommunications company. And lastly, Casemiro has an endorsement deal with Gatorade, the popular sports drink brand. These are all the known and declared endorsement deals that Casemiro has. He's also been featured in advertisements for a lot of other companies as well, but they're not the same as being endorsed by the said company. In either case, Casemiro is one of the most prominent faces for several brands, especially in his home country Brazil. Casemiro has been associated with the Save the Children organization since 2019. The humanitarian organization aims to improve the lives of children via educational and economic opportunities. As a player who faced a difficult childhood, Casemiro relates to the cause. He also has a partnership with UNICEF, and in 2021 he visited schools in Brazil to help promote the importance of education and healthy habits among children. For a footballer who one expects to be basking in luxury at all times, a surprisingly little amount is known about Casemiro's private life. He has over 19 million followers on Instagram, and yet he keeps most information on his luxurious life hidden. Not much is known about his homes in either Madrid or Manchester. He has had a love for luxury sports cars nevertheless, and his garage includes an Audi RS7, an Audi Q7, Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, a Range Rover Sport SVR. Casemiro is a married man, and he began dating his wife, Ana Mariana, way back in 2011. The childhood sweethearts would go on to marry in 2014 and have stayed inseparable since. Ana Mariana is a social media influencer, makeup artist and model. Her Instagram handle has over 300,000 followers. She also has a bachelor's degree in business administration. They met in 2011 when they were both still in Sao Paulo and began dating soon after. They now have 2 children together, a daughter Sarah and a son Chao. Now, all this almost never happened when Casemiro was diagnosed with hepatitis as a teenager and might have never grown up to be a footballer because of how severe it was. He could not eat or train properly for 3 months. He lost a lot of weight and was very weak.